Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to like the weekly budget cars video. Today we're going to be going over the top 20 best sports cars under $10,000, my bad. I've been recently doing a lot of budget car videos. I've been doing them for all my whole YouTube career pretty much, but I realized after looking at all my videos, I haven't done just like these are sports cars that you can buy for under 10K video yet. I always do like something with a little bit of a twist. Like, you know, I'm always like, oh, JDM cars or reliable cars or good gas mileage cars. There's always a little twist on my videos. And so today I was like, you know what, let's just go back to the basics and do just the top 20 best sports cars for under $10,000. It's a basic, normal 20 sports cars under 10K list. Really quick, most of my videos, obviously I include 2 clips of the car, and I usually talk about them for around a minute long. Since there is 20 and I want to keep it relatively short, we're only going to be talking about each car for around 30 seconds, and each car is only going to get 1 clip. So I hope you guys understand. I just try not to waste anybody's time. I have a 20-minute long video, and for 20 cars, it's kind of pointless. So we'll do a 10-minute long, hopefully around 10-minute long video with 20 cars. But without further ado, let's go into the list with number 20. Coming into the number 20 spot is going to the Subaru BRZ. I have been including the BRZ in my under 10K videos for a while now, and every time I do, I always say the price will come down soon. Just believe in yourself. Just gotta believe, man. The price is gonna come down on these cars, and they finally have. They're finally sitting right there underneath that 10K barrier. It's still pretty hard to find them under 10K, which is the reason why I put it at number 20, but once you do, it's well worth it. It comes with a 2-liter flat 4 making 205 horsepower, and it is rear wheel drive. It's a very fun little car. It's like the Miata of the new world, which is really cool. Obviously it's not fast in a straight line, but it's fun for the twisty boys. Coming into the number 19 spot is going to the Audi A5 8T. However, you can find an S5 8T under 10K with a lot of miles and rust and issues and stuff like that, but you can do it. The A5, however, comes with a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4 making 210 horsepower, and it's obviously all-wheel drive since it's an Audi. They do have a 3.2-liter V6, I believe, and I think it makes a little bit more horsepower, so if you want to get that one, go ahead. I would wager a guess that the turbo inline 4 is probably the better option if you're just daily driving, but the V6 is probably the better option if you want like a sporty car. But make your poison. And the car's cool, it's luxurious, it looks nice, blah blah blah. Coming into the number 18 spot is going to the Toyota Celica GT 7th generation. This is the last generation before they stopped making them, and the one that commonly gets overlooked because it didn't come out with a GT4 model, and I think that's criminal because the car is really cool, honestly. It comes with a 1.8-liter inline 4 making 170 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. Now, obviously, yeah, this is the thing. That horsepower number is low, but so is a lot of the cars we're going to be talking about on this list that get a lot of praise, so I don't really understand why people hate it for that. On top of that, the car's really lightweight and handles like a dream. Ironically, speaking of cars that are lightweight and handle like a dream, let's talk about the king of it, the Mazda Miata NA. You can also find an NB under 10K. You can also find an NC under 10K, honestly. So honestly, pick your poison, whatever one you want to do. I'm just going to include the NA here because everybody knows about this car. Everybody loves this car. It comes with a 1.8-liter inline 4, making 135 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Like I said before, the Celica has more horsepower than this. Obviously, this car is significantly lighter, and it's rear-wheel drive, and it's a Miata, so it looks cute and whatever. So I understand why people like the Miata better than the Celica, but either way, like, these guys are hating on the Celica for no reason. Coming in at the number 16 spot is the first sport hatchback of this list. That's right, we have those now. The Ford Focus ST. The ST stands for sexy troglodytes. What? The car comes with a 2.3-liter turbocharged inline 4, making 252 horsepower, and it's front-wheel drive. This is an incredible car. The Focus ST really is. I'm not a Ford fan at all. My dad has liked Chevys my whole life, so I've been taught to like those too, but it really is a good choice. It's reliable, it's fast, you can tune it to make it even faster, and it's got tons of space. There's literally no real downside to buying a Ford Focus ST. Coming in at the number 15 spot is one of the cars that I'm actually thinking about buying myself after my Integra is done, the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. I'm also thinking about the A5, by the way. I actually have a poll up on my Instagram story. Go vote for that. It comes with a 3.8-liter V6, making 348 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. I actually am going to take 1 second just to talk about that real quick. Instagram at ss.markey. Go look at my Instagram story because I have a poll up right now, and I need you guys' help choosing my next car. Either way, the Genesis Coupe is a really underrated rear-wheel drive, high horsepower sports car from Korea. Most people obviously look the other way when they look at this car because of a couple reasons. A, it's Hyundai, so people don't trust Hyundai to make a sports car, even though they did pretty damn good at it. And on top of that, the motors, both of them, because it also comes with a 2-liter turbo, are not the best for building power. So what you see is what you get, pretty much. Coming in at the number 14 spot, this is actually a perfect comparison to the Celica GT, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. Both of them have GT in the name. What does that stand for? Gamertag? Like, what are they talking about? Is that their ghetto turtles or something? Like, what is that, man? It comes with a 3-liter V6, making 170 horsepower, and it's front-wheel drive. In case you forgot, the Celica made the exact same horsepower and was also front-wheel drive. This car, however, has a V6, so it's slightly worse on gas and is slightly more unreliable. But at the same time, it's a 3000 GT, and they're absolutely beautiful, and they handle like a dream, and they're really, really cool. So I kind of understand, and that's why I put it a little bit higher. Coming in at 13th is a car that most people are starting to say is one of the best project cars out there right now for under 5K, and I honestly agree. The BMW 328i E36. It truly is an incredible option if you're looking for a car under 5K, but today it's under 10K, so there is going to be a couple of obvious other better options. It comes with a 2.8-liter inline-6, making 190 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Even though the word BMW might scare you away because it is a German car, this is an older BMW, so they're still kind of reliable. And on top of that, parts for them are dirt cheap, like dirt cheap. And it's in a blast of drive. It's rear-wheel drive. It looks cool. Everything about it's great. Coming in the number 12 spot is a car that is just absolutely sexy, the Nissan 300ZX Z32. Sometimes I sit there looking at my 350Z and I think to myself, I wish I got a 300ZX instead because they're so gorgeous, man. It comes with a 3-liter V6 making 222 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. This is also one of the only cars on this list. I think it actually is the only car on this list. No, it's not. The next car has the same thing, but it has a target top, which is so freaking cool, dude. I love those little T-top stuff. Oh my god, it makes me so happy when I see cars like that. The 300ZX is obviously not a good first choice. The engine's tough to work on, but if you just want a cool little sports car, here you go. Coming in at the number 11 spot, another car that has a target top option, the Chevy Corvette C5. My uncle has one of these, and his is a freaking monster. It's cammed and it sounds so loud and scary and amazing. But either way, they come with a 5.7-liter V8 making 350 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Now, normally I would put the C5 Vet up towards the top of my list whenever I do one of these videos, and I wanted to, but then I thought to myself, let's change it up a bit, you know, let's change it up just a tad. Either way, I do think the C5 Corvette, if you're looking for literally just a sports car and not like a daily driver's type of sports car, is an amazing option. You get an LS with 350 horsepower for under 10K. It is tough to find them under 10K, but it is possible. Coming in at the number 10 spot is an incredibly underrated car, the Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX 2G. Honestly, any Eclipse can be found under 10K nowadays, and all of them are pretty good options. Yes, even the 3G and 4G, they're just all good cars. This one comes with a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, making 210 horsepower, and it's all-wheel drive. That motor is the same motor that they put in the Evos of the time, which is obviously an incredible motor. And on top of that, this is all-wheel drive. So this is literally a pocket Evo. Did you want an Evo but don't have Evo money? Get this. It's the exact same thing. Coming in at the number 9 spot is a car that's been kind of a guilty pleasure of mine recently, the BMW 650i E63. This is the one with the really weird looking back end that I still haven't gotten over the back end. I still think the back end looks horrible, but the rest of the car is awesome. It comes with a 4.4-liter V8 making 325 horsepower, and it's rear-wheel drive. That's a lot of horsepower. Now obviously it is a German V8, so expect the reliability to be an issue, but it's so worth it, dude. You get this like bougie, comfortable car to drive around in that looks incredible, except for the back. Don't look at the back of it, just take pictures from the front, and it's fast as hell too. Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to the responsible boy's choice, the Volkswagen GTI Mark 6. Again, you can find any GTI pretty much nowadays under 10K. Mark 7s are even starting to drop below that point. So honestly, they're all good options. But the Mark 6 is, in my opinion, the best right now. It comes with a 2-liter turbo inline-4, making 210 horsepower, and it's front-wheel drive. These cars are obviously not the fastest on this list. They're not the most groundbreaking on this list, but they're just a good combination of everything. They got the reliability, the luxury, the speed, the performance, the handling of all the cars combined, but just slightly trimmed down from the rest. Coming in at the number 7 spot is another car that I'm thinking about buying after my Integra, actually. The Infiniti G37 Coupe. I'm a VQ boy. I've always liked them. I know that they make weird noises, but I don't care. I think the noises are really cool in my opinion, alright? But this one comes with a 3.7-liter V6, making 330 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. You get to choose between the two. I also think the BMW's the same way, by the way. I forgot to mention that, but I think you can also get an all-wheel drive version of that. But either way, the G37 Coupe is literally if you want a 370Z with more room and for less money. That's literally the exact same car. Coming in at the number 6 spot, however, let's talk about the muscle boys. We only talked about one muscle car so far, so let's talk about another one. The Ford Mustang GT S197 is an incredible deal right now. They come with a 5-liter V8 making 300 horsepower on the dot, and they are rear-wheel drive. Obviously 300 horsepower, I honestly was a little surprised when I heard that it only comes with 300 horsepower, but at the same time, you got to remember this is an American V8. You can easily get a lot more horsepower out of it for a lot less. Now, you might only be able to find a pre-facelift version of this car, but I have seen a couple facelifted versions under 10K. You just kind of have to get lucky, I guess. Coming in at the number 5 spot is the car that I always recommend to people if they're a little bit of a tuner. You know, if you're a tuner boy and you're looking for a cheap one. The Acura RSX Type S. These cars came with a K-Series. If you know anything about Honda motors, or if you know anything about JDM motors in general, you know the K-Series is a great motor. It's a 2.4-liter inline-4, making 201 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. Now, obviously, again, that horsepower isn't that great out of the gate, but it's a K-Series, buddy. You add a turbo to it for like 50 bucks. You don't even have to spend 50 bucks. You know, you can go down the street to your closest tag sale and offer the guy a high five, and he'll give you a turbo for the K-Series. That's how cheap motors or Honda parts are. It really is just an incredible deal right now, and they handle really well. Coming into the number 4 spot, I was thinking about you luxury boys when I came up with this one. The Audi S4 B8. Yes, you can find an S4 modern Audi nowadays under 10K. It's really crazy how much these cars have depreciated. If you don't want the S4 and you want the body style, you can get an A4 for like under 5K now, which is crazy. But either way, the S4 comes with a 3-liter supercharged V6, making 333 horsepower, and it's all-wheel drive. By the way, I love when companies do that. The 300ZX did that with a 222 horsepower. This one has 333. I love that. It is a sedan. It's an all-wheel drive sedan that's going to be a little bit of fun and pretty reliable. So this is a good combination. Coming in at 3rd place, however, let's talk about you rally boys. Bronze medal is going to the Subaru WRX Hawkeye. Now, I usually include the Blobeye in my list, so that's why I included the Hawkeye. They're exactly the same car, but I wanted to change it up and use some different videos so people won't get as bored. So here's the Hawkeye. It comes with a 2.5-liter turbocharged flat 4, making 225 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. Like I said, it's the exact same as the Bug-Eye and the Blobeye, so if you don't have Hawkeye money, go buy a Blobeye or a Bug-Eye. They're exactly the same thing, but once you do, they are all-wheel drive little rally monsters that are great for anybody that lives in a winter area. Coming in at 2nd place, however, the silver medal is going to the Chevy Camaro SS 5th generation. Haha, I tricked you, sons of guns. The only reason why I didn't include the Corvette in the top 3 is because I was including the Camaro in the top 3. It comes with a 6.2-liter V8, making 426 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. That's obviously incredible. One of the highest, I think it is the highest on this list. Yeah, it is by a long shot, actually. The highest one on this list. But there's a big problem. It's pretty hard to find these under 10K. People obviously know what they got. It's going to take you a long time to find one, but it is well worth the wait and all the stress to get one of these things. And finally, 1st place is none other than my baby, the Nissan 350Z. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even feel like I should apologize, but I guess I will. I'm sorry that I include the 350Z as number 1 because I own it. That's not the reason, though. It comes with a 3.5-liter V6, making 306 horsepower, and it's rear-wheel drive. All of that together is a very good combination. The V6 is incredibly reliable and is pretty decent at making power if you want to, and if you get the HR, which is very easy to do if you have a 10K budget. 306 horsepower out of the gate is very good. These cars are very cheap. They handle very well. They look really cool. They have tons of aftermarket support, and all of the aftermarket support is very cheap. They have a limited slip differential from factory, which means it's great for drifting if you want to get into drifting, but it's also great for racing since it's not a welded diff. It's a limited slip diff. It's everything about the car is just an amazing sports car for under $10,000. Now, yeah, the sound, oh, it sounds like a trumpet. Listen, buddy, since when do trumpets sound bad? They're literally an instrument, okay? They're meant to sound good. All right, friend. Like, come on, bud. Got a little heated. I got a little defensive there towards the end. I apologize for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. I just thought about this when I was actually talking about the Camaro, but then I turned the video off, and I was like, I'll mention it at the end. If you can't find a Camaro for under 10K, I would recommend the Pontiac GTO. It's pretty much the same thing, and you can find those pretty easily under 10K. So there you go. You know, it's pretty much the same car. It looks a little bit different, but yeah, if you can't find the Camaro, get the GTO. I understand the Camaro is definitely over 10K quite frequently, so it might be pretty hard. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Love each and every one of you. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.